welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be, surprise, surprise, completely different than all the other videos. I don't want to say completely different because my Goddess series is kind of around the same concept, but this is just to help elevate your own heart space energy, your own self-love. I'm going to show you guys techniques that I do to help elevate self-love, and whenever I feel doubt or insecurity, I have to remind myself that I need to realign and start doing some of these meditations again. Because let's face it, we all have different things and different phases in our life that trigger different emotions that we forgot were there. And if you listen or follow my podcast, I do talk a lot about that, especially in my recent episodes. And yeah, it's something that I feel collectively a lot of us are going through, and that's why it's hitting a lot of the empathic people very, very strong, because we're picking up on the subtle energies that not only are still stagnant in our bodies, but stagnant in everyone's bodies that are coming to the surface. And we all are interconnected energetically. So the more awakened you are and the more empathic you are, you will be able to pick up on those energies. And if you don't remember to ground yourself and center yourself, it can be extremely overwhelming. But this is the point of me sharing with you guys things and tips that I do. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. It means the world to me. Also that like button if you like this content and you want to see more of the different types of meditations that I do. But this one is going to be all about self-love and heart-based. And they're going to be really quick, simple meditations, because sometimes you're doing something, like maybe you're at work, maybe you're with family, or you're with your children, and you just need like 1 minute to yourself just to rebalance and recenter. And you can take that 1 minute, you can go to the restroom, excuse yourself, center yourself, do this fast meditation, and it will just bring you back into yourself. A lot of the other techniques I do is breathing. Breathing is so key when you want to rebalance and recenter, because breathing brings you new life, new possibilities, and it helps get out all that old energy that no longer serves you. So the first technique that I like to do is just close my eyes, and I take 3 nice breaths in. And I did talk about this on like 2 podcasts ago. But the way that I do my breath, and I used to do it completely opposite, and I think naturally the way that I breathe is completely opposite, but I'm learning and being patient with myself as I rewire these old patterns. But the way that you do it is you can put your hand on your stomach. One hand on your stomach, one hand on your heart works really, really well also, because it's allowing you to give yourself space in your heart space and allowing you to feel the different ways that the breath's coming in and out of the abdominal, which is the core area. So what you're gonna wanna do is when you breathe in, you're sticking your stomach out, you're breathing everything in and expanding your core. You're expanding new possibilities. You're breathing in new life. So what you'll do is you bring in what you want, and it doesn't have to be drawn out. It shouldn't be drawn out. It should just be something short and simple and to the point. Whenever you ask for new things, the more you try to complicate it, the more it's complicated for the new energies to come in, because it's like, what is it that they really want? Know what you want. I want peace. And then you breathe it in, and you bring it around, and you really want to really make your stomach full with that new breath, those new possibilities. And you're going to allow yourself to take whatever doesn't serve you and breathe it out. Okay? You're making so much room for all the new stuff that you expel the old stuff. The second breath, you're going to claim something else that you want. So whether it's, I need more love right in this moment, self-love, patience, self-love, an answer, whatever it is that you need in that moment. I'm just thinking of ideas for when you are in a stressful situation. Ask for that. Ask for that at that time, and expel anger, fear, judgment, shame. Expel all of that. Sometimes we're afraid to speak our minds because we're carrying those emotions still in us. So we'd rather not ask for help. We'd rather take all the burdens ourselves, and we forget to take those 5 minutes to bring in new possibilities. Now, this technique also works for when you're not stressed and when you just want to recenter. So if you're like, I just want gratitude, I would like prosperity, health, I literally visualize what I want, and I literally, even though I do these hand movements, I feel like I'm bringing that energy in. And when you get to your core, whatever it's being pushed out because it doesn't serve what you just put in there is getting pushed out. And so you allow it to leave. You allow it to leave. Give yourself the permission. Because a lot of times we're waiting for somebody else's approval, somebody else's permission to feel safe. Allow yourself to feel safe with yourself. That's self-love. You need to love yourself enough to give yourself those 30-second breaks, those 1-minute breaks to recenter, to balance your energy, okay? Especially us as like mothers and women and just people who are in the workforce, who are going after things day after day after day. They forget to take those 30 seconds, those 1-minute breaks just to rebalance and recenter. And then at the end of the day, they're like spent and they have no more in their well. And that's not the type of life that I feel any of us deserve. I feel like we deserve a very fulfilling and beautiful life, because when you show up more full with your energy nice and clear, you're just going to be better altogether. I promise. Take that 5 minutes for yourself. That is self-love, not buying a new purse, not taking a bath. Yes, you can do these techniques in the bath, but you should be able to do these techniques at any time of the day. If you're in the grocery store and you just need to stop in the aisle, who cares who's watching? Who cares? I do crazy things all the time, and I stopped caring a long time ago. Because by you doing that might trigger the next person to take that extra time for themselves too. Like, I saw this lady, she was like breathing, doing breath work inside of the grocery store. Or maybe they don't know what you're doing, and then they ask, and it's something that they needed within themselves. So never feel ashamed, because a lot of the time, so many of us have this beautiful knowledge, but we don't like to share it because we're not confident in what we can bring to the table. I'm letting you guys know, and I've let you guys know so many times in my podcast throughout this whole YouTube journey, that a lot of the people that you see up there are still learning, and that's great. We never stop learning. No one is perfect. I am not perfect. None of us are perfect, and that is perfectly beautiful. We all have different unique aspects and gifts and point of views that we bring to the table. So when you allow yourself to have that confidence and that strength within yourself to share, you're going to not only flourish yourself, but others around you. And it's a beautiful, beautiful and rewarding thing. Let's go ahead and get into technique number 2. This one is very similar to the first one, but this time I want you to use your mind's eye. I want you to tap into your imagination. Not necessarily your imagination, but I want you to remember every time you felt unloved, disappointed, unfulfilled. And when you do this, it's going to trigger a lot of emotions. We want these emotions to come out so that way it doesn't keep affecting you. It doesn't keep driving you. Okay, we want to break down these patterns so that you can live a more fulfilling and beautiful life filled with so much love that comes from within. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to place both of your hands on your heart, however it feels the most comfortable for you. And I want you to take those deep breaths and just call in guidance for your heart. Call in self-love for yourself. Patience. And truth. And then I want you to visualize what I just told you. Anytime that you felt hurt, anytime that you've doubted yourself, I want you to look at it. And I want you to look at it, acknowledge it, breathe it out. And once you breathe out what no longer serves you, and yes, you might shake, you might cry, and let it out. That is that emotion that is coming out of you. You might see things that you're like, I can't believe that I don't even know why I'm thinking that. Let it out. It's stuck in your subconscious. You allowed your guard to come down. You're centered in your heart. And so things that are stagnant and stuck within your subconscious, within your body, are going to start to resurface. And instead of hiding from it, you need to embrace it and see what it is. Allow it to leave like you allow the breath to leave. Breathe in more of what you want: self-love, happiness, forgiveness, confidence, and strength. Whatever applies to you, and it could be things that I'm not even talking about. You can do and say whatever it is that you need at this moment in your life. So it's going to be different for everyone going through different things. But you need to feel that. And the reason we put our hands on our hearts is we want to let ourselves know it's okay. We are here. When I say we, you, your higher self, your angels, your guardians, we're all with you at that moment. You can feel the power whenever you have your hand on your heart. And when people put their hands on their heart, sometimes they immediately start to cry. Feel that. Because that means that your heart has been closed off and shut off for a while. So you need to rebuild that relationship with your own heart space. That is where true self-love comes from. That is part of the healing process. And it's different for every one of us. Some have gone through some traumatic, heartbreaking events, and my heart pours out to you. And I hold space for you. And I love you. And it's not your fault. And you can always rewire. You can always bring in new energy, bring in new breath. Every moment you wake up and you breathe, that is an opportunity to rewire, to let go. Every breath you take, every breath. Once you've done that, and you've called in all the good energy that you want, you're gonna hug yourself. You're gonna tell yourself that you love yourself. And if you cry, allow it to happen. These are two very powerful techniques that you can invite into your day-to-day life in order to clear out old patterns and really invite new self-love for yourself. Take these 5 minutes every day to give back to yourself, to get over things that no longer serve you, and to bring and live the life that you want and that you deserve. I love you guys so much. Until next time.